Dear students, in previous lecture we started simplex method for solving linear programming problems. In today's lecture we will discuss one more important problem to solve with simplex method, that is problem of linear programming problems to solve with simplex method. Now you can see the problem. Solve the following LPP by simplex method. Minimize z equals to x1 minus 3x2 plus 2x3, then 3 constraints all with less than equals to, and then non-negative restriction with 3 variables x1, x2, x3 greater than equals to 0. If we compare this with previous problem, in previous problem the objective function was of maximization and here it is of minimization, and what I told there in previous lecture, the objective function must be of maximization only whenever we solve any LPP by simplex method. So while solving this problem into standard LPP, which is required, without converting it into standard form we can't start the solution. So while changing it into standard form, minimization will be converted into maximization, and all less than equals to, like previous problem of previous lecture, will be converted into equalities by adding slack variables in left hand sides. So what we are doing there, maximization z dash, in place of z we are using some other variable and we are multiplying that z by minus negative sign, so minimization converts into maximization. So minus z is minus x1 plus 3x2 minus 2x3. Then 3 slack variables s1, s2 and s3 as less than equals to sign are added in left hand sides of these 3 constraints s1, s2, s3 at appropriate places. Then as we know, alignment is always required, so 0 s1, 0 s2 and 0 s3 at several places, and 0 s1 and 0 s2, 0 s3 in objective function 2, and in non-negative restrictions we have x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 all greater than equals to 0. And as you can see, x3 was there in first constraint, all 3 are there. In second constraint, x1 and x2 are available, x3 is not, so 0 x3 that is x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 in column wise alignment is always required, and we have converted all less than equals to into equalities, that is all inequalities into equalities, and as well as 3 constraints are there, what we need to create a 3 cross 3 identity matrix, which we have done using slack variables. S1 can be seen a coefficient in column 1 0 0, for S2 0 1 0, for S3 0 0 1. So 3 cross 3 identity matrix is also created. So that is the given LPP is converted into standard form. In next slide we will prepare first table from that standard form. Now you can see the standard form of given LPP is again written, because using it we will find table 1. How? That is the standard format of table as per the previous lecture, CB, B, small b, then Cj, and variables, all 6 variables x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 there, and their cost as per that objective function minus 1, 3, minus 2, you can check it, minus 1, 3, minus 2, then 0, 0, 0 for s1, s2, s3. And in B, in basic variables, in basis we have basic variables B, which actually make identity matrix, that is 1 0 0 by s1, so it's at first place, 0 1 0 second column by s2 at second place, and 0 0 1 by s3 at third place, and cost of all these 0 0 0 written there. CB is cost of basic variables, and then we have to copy that first row as first row of table, first row of standard form, 3 minus 1 3 1 0 0 from there, from that variable's position, say x1's coefficient is 3, so 3 minus 1 3 1 0 0, then minus 2 4 0 1 0 0 1 1 0, minus 2 4 0, then 0 2 times 0, then 1 0, then minus 4 3 8, minus 4 3 8 0 0 1 0 0 1. The identity matrix is obviously appearing there, and in that column of B we have 7 12, and the right hand side values of all 3 equalities 7 12 10. And then what we do, we calculate Zj and then Zj minus Cj. That's what we have seen in previous lecture. Here we are calculating Zj minus Cj directly. It can be done directly in any problem in examination. For clarification purposes, in previous lecture we calculated Zj separately, then Zj minus Cj. How Zj can be calculated? For this column, so 3 into 0 plus minus 2 into 0 plus minus 4 into 0. That will be 0 because product with 0 on all the cases, then sum will be 0. So Zj will be 0 and 0 minus 1 will be plus 1. And Zj will be 0 because of 3 zeros here in all the cases. So Zj minus Cj will be minus 3, then minus plus 2, then 0, then 0, then 0. And as you can see, this is not an optimal solution. Optimal means the final solution. Why? Because we have at least one value of Zj minus Cj as negative. If all values are non-negative, means 0 or positive, then we say it's optimal solution. It's not the case in first table here. And minus 3 is the only negative value. It's most negative, only Z2 minus, as x2 is there, so Z2 minus C2. And x2 will enter, so it's entering variable. And then we calculate replacement ratio. As you know, in last lecture I told if any negative value is there, then replacement ratio can't be calculated. For that you have to put a dash like here. And in remaining places, so 7 upon minus 1 is not calculated, okay, because of that negative. So if you have 0 or negative in that entering column, you must keep that dash. Replacement ratio RR can't be calculated. While in remaining places, 12 upon 4 is 3 and 10 upon 3 is 10 upon 3, which is 3.33 approximately. So minimum value of RR is 3, so its second row here is key row, and you can see it's obvious to say that minimum ratio occurs for the variable S2, and S2 is outgoing. Why? How? Because that is in that second row, which is key row, the one of identity matrix is given for S2, that one. So S2 will be the outgoing. So X2 will enter in place of S2. In next table you will see S2 will be outgoing and X2 will incoming. S1, S3 will remain in their places. Okay, and outgoing variable, and 4 is the key element where the entering column or the key rows both intersects is the element known as key element, and that is key row. And from these key element and keys row we will start table 2 in next slide. Now you can see table 1 is made again, because using table 1 table 2 will be created, and in table 2 we have, say, to get second row initially. Why? And in place of S2 we have X2, as I told, and cost of S2 was 0, and here cost of X2 is, as you can see, X2's cost is 3, so it's 3 written, and these all Cj and variables will remain invariant, written similarly like previous table from table 1 copied, and B, S1, S3 at their places, S2 replaced by X2, and its cost of S2 was 0, cost of X2 is 3. And key row of the previous table is second row. So in new table, table 2, we will find second row initially by dividing all elements of key row by that key element. So 12 upon 4, minus 2 upon 4, 4 upon 4, 0 upon 4, 0 upon 4, 1 upon 4, 0 upon 4, as you can see 12 upon 4, minus 2 upon 4, etc. And they are calculated at 3 minus half, 1, 0, 0, 1 by 4, 0. So it is the first arrival of second row will arrive initially in table 2. Then using that second row, we will find first row and third row of table 2. Like I mentioned everything in previous lecture also, from first table to second, second to third, the procedure is similar. So using that second row, that is values are 3, etc. And for finding first and third row, what we are writing there? Say copy the first row, 7, 3, minus 1, 3, 1, 0, 0 of table 1 in table 2 initially, 7, 3, minus 1, 3, 1, 0, 3. And then from that you have to subtract sign of negativity. You have to subtract what? You have to subtract all products of that 4 is key element. So before, as we are writing first row in table 2, so first row in table 1, here we are having minus 1 in that entering column. That is 4 is the key element, and in that alignment minus 1 is can be considered as sub key element kind of element. So minus 1 is sub key element multiplied with the already arrived second row of second table, that is minus 1 multiplied with 3 minus half 4 0 0 1 by 4 and 0. Here you can see minus 1 is multiplied with 3 minus half, then 1 0 0 minus 1 multiplied with 1 by 4 and with 0, and all subtracted by that older positions of first row of table 1, and we calculated them as tan 5 by 2 etc. So first row of table 2 came, and similarly for finding third row of table 2, copy the third row of table 1, tan minus 4 3 8 0 0 1, tan minus 4 3 8 0 0 1. Then from that you are subtracting, minus sign of negativity can be seen. What is being subtracted? In that alignment 3 is there, so 3 is multiplied with the initially arrived second row of table 2. So 3 multiplied with that 3 minus half 1 0 0 and 1 by 4 0. You can see that 3 multiplied with 3, 3 multiplied with minus half, 3 multiplied with 1, 3 multiplied with 0, 3 multiplied with 0, 3 multiplied with 1 by 4, 3 multiplied with 0, and all subtracted. From that copy paste elements of third row of table 1, and that result is available with 1 minus 5 by 2 0 8 0 minus 3 by 4 and 1. And then we calculate Zj. How? Multiply that 5 by 2 with 0, minus half with 3 and minus 5 by 2 with 0. So, and then add them. So 5 by 2 into 0 plus minus half into 3 plus minus 5 by 2 into 0, that will be only minus 3 by 2. That is Zj. Zj minus Cj means minus minus plus 1. So minus 3 by 2 plus 1 will be minus half. Similarly, you can calculate Zj minus Cj for all values. You can obtain all Zj minus Cj, and then it's only one value which is negative, so it's not the final table, not the final solution, not an optimal solution. Z1 minus C1 is most negative. Then all formalities like previous table 1 to table 2 will be done. For table 2 to table 3 we have to make next tables, but it will be table 3, and for that x1 is entering because most negative variable, and that is with replacement ratio. Here two negative values, two dashes in RR, only one replacement ratio calculated, and in that case you can find the key element is 5 by 2, and that is key row is first row. So using these all information, say S1 is outgoing, so in place of S1, X1 will enter in next table, in next. Now you can see that table 2 is written again, and using that table 2, S1 in table 2 is replaced by X1. Cost of S1 was 0, so cost of X1 is now minus 1. And how we created table 2 from table 1, similar pattern is to create table 3 from table 2. And after doing that, all values of Zj minus Cj are calculated as you can see 1 into minus 1 plus 0 into 3 plus 0 into 0, that is value of Zj, which is minus 1, and from that Cj minus 1 is subtracted, so Zj minus Cj is 0 for this 0, and then finally all values of Zj minus Cj are non-negative, either 0 or positive. So we can say it's optimal solution, and it is obtained as x1 is with that value small b 4. So x1 is 4, that is x1 4, x2 is 5, and x3 is not available in that final table, so its value is 0. S3 is 11, which is to be multiplied with 0 in objective function, and S1, S2 are also 0. And then finally we are finding value of minimum Z, not maximum Z. Why? In problem you know that we converted minimum Z to maximum Z dash, and then how we all created all these tables. But what was asked, it was minimum value of Z which was required. That's why we are substituting values of x1, x2 and x3 in the given problem minimum Z. So it was actually x1, which is 4, minus 3x2, so minus 3 into x2 is 5, plus 2x3, so plus 2 into x3 0. So its minimum value of Z is minus 11. So it's about one more important problem, or completion of one more important problem of linear programming problem, which we solved through simplex method. In lecture Next lecture we will discuss some other variety of linear programming problem which we will solve through simplex method.